Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a video on makeup for beginners. So I have a lot of affordable and some high-end products, but I show you some cheaper products to replace it if you don't want to spend money on high-end makeup or you just can't afford the high-end makeup. So I already went ahead and did my brows. If you guys want to see a brow tutorial, just comment that down below and like this video as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified that I am posting. Alright, so just starting off, I feel like I'm really close. No, wrong way. There we go. So I'm going to be starting off by doing my eyes. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Man-Eater palette, and it's the newer one. It has 9 shades in it. So a good palette if you want like a cheaper palette is the ColourPop, what is it? Double Entendre palette. It comes with more shades, and they're like all very similar shades. So I'm just gonna go in with the Tarte one though. So I always start with my eyes so that I can be a little bit more messy. And so that it just goes quicker for me if I do it that way. So starting off with the Morphe M441 brush, it's just a very fluffy looking brush. I'm going to go in with a mix of the shade Passion and Purr, which is just this middle shade and then this middle shade. So I'm just taking those on my fluffy brush. It can be any fluffy brush too. And I am just sweeping that right into my crease. Now the crease is when you open your eye, and it's like between the lid, which is here, what you see, and up here, which is what is called your brow bone. So like your crease is your middle ground of your eye, for lack of a better term. So I always tap the excess off of my brush, whether it be on my fingers or just off the palette or off my mirror, just so I can go in and add more later. So let me zoom in a little bit now. There we go, so you guys can see better. Alright, so next I'm going to do the same thing on the other eye. And just feather that in. I use side-to-side motions. A lot of people use circular motions, and there are times where I do use both. But when I'm doing just a very, very simple look like this, I won't do anything super crazy. I'll just swipe back and forth because I can get the same pigment in both eyes. Like it looks really good in both eyes this way. Alright, so I'm going to go in with the same brush and just the shade Purr, this middle shade. And I'm going to put that in my crease as well. And I bring it in, there are times where I bring it in all the way, but normally I just bring it about here. Like 3/4 of the way in. Now I do have to pull my eyelids out just a little bit, just because I get this creasing right in here. You guys can kind of see it here. So, but that's just my eye. Going in with Purr again. So I have this like medium, like a neutral eye going. So next I'm going to go in with the NYX makeup brush. It's the 16 brush. It's pretty much the same brush as the M441 by Morphe, but just a little bit slimmer. So then I'm going in with a mix of the shade Saucy and Midnight. These two shades, it's like a neutral brown shade and then a little bit of a darker chocolatey brown shade. Now I'm just going in my outer crease, which is here, bringing it down to the outer corner of my eye, and then just after I have it packed on and blended in here, I feather it into the inner corner. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So it can really deepen up your look. If you wanted to stop at like here with just those shades, you could definitely do that. But I like to be able to see a little bit more dimension in my looks. So I'm just starting here and feathering, pulling slightly to fill those creases in. Like so. So now I'm just going to go in with the Passion shade, this top shade on my M441, just to blend everything out, because it is a very light shade. Alright, so now I'm going to be going on my brow bone with, trying to find a brush, with just a small, like, pencil brush almost. Excuse me. This is the EcoTools smudge brush. So it's just very tiny. And I'm going in with a mix of Passion and Meow to get that really light shade. And now I'm just going to sweep that right under the arch of my brow bone, just to make it pop a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in and blend all that out so we don't have any harsh lines. Alright, now for my lid, I'm going to be going in with the shade Foxy on my finger. It's just this neutral brown shade, and I am just applying this all over my lid, bringing it up slightly into the crease. Just ever so slightly. Like so. And then I'm going to go back in with this NYX brush, this like really, oh hey, there's my background. Just this brush, and then the shade Midnight, and just a tap or two of that. I'm going to pat that on just the outer corner here, and then I'm going to blend this up into the crease just a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in with the Foxy shade and just go over that again. So this is the eye look. It's very soft and neutral. And then for an inner corner highlight, I'm going to go in with that same smudge brush and go in with this shade here. It is the shade Lace. It's just a very light shimmery shade. And you can go over your brow bone with this. I prefer a matte brow bone over anything. So, oh, wrong way. Alright, so now I'm going to be going into my face products. So I'm already moisturized, even though you probably can't tell. Now, normally I put like an oil control lotion on my nose area and my chin. It's over there. Actually, I'm going to get that. So this is by Dermalogica. My bottle's pretty messed up, but it's just an oil control lotion, and it comes out really fast, but I just put it on my chin and any spot that I get oily, because the rest of my skin is dry, but like the center of my face is very oily. So I just put it here, around my nose, and on my chin. And then I am going to go ahead and just blend that in with a beauty blender, like pretty much just press it in my skin, like so. And then I let that dry. I will take like a palette and just dry my face. And then for the sponge that I'm using, this one's dirty, but this is the NYX Professional Makeup Sponge. One of my favorite sponges. Another good sponge is the Real Technique sponge. This one's not damp, this one is. And a third favorite is the Eco Tools one. But this is my favorite one so far. Alright, now that that is dry, we're going to go in with a primer. Now, I go in with a matte and blurring primer just in the center of my face. There are times where I do go in with a very shimmery primer around the exterior of my face, like here and up in here. And that is because, again, I'm more dry out here. So, I'm going to go in with the ColourPop All-Star Primer. This ColourPop is an online only, except for they do sell some of their products in Ulta, but not a lot of their products, just a couple eyeshadows. So I just put a little bit on my fingers, press that into my skin. And then I just kind of blend it out into the rest of my skin. The rest of my face, I should say. Alright, I'm just going to make sure that's all blended in. Alright. So if you are oily, this can go all over your face. If you have large pores, this can go wherever your large pores are, so on and so forth. So the foundation that I'm going in with is the L'Oreal Paris 24-Hour Foundation, or up to 24-hour foundation in the Infallible Pro Glow. So I just take this on the bottom of my sponge because I have a better base to work with. If I'm doing it on a client's face, I'll put it on the back of my hand. But if I'm doing it on just like it's my face, or like if you would be doing this on your own face, you can just put it straight on your sponge. So I just start by blending this. If it is a little bit of a different shade, you can go onto your ears. Now I'm going to stay away from the bottom of my ear because I have a ton of earrings in. But I go all over my face, just buffing and blending this in. Now don't pull. You don't want to be pulling or like smacking really hard. You just want to lightly dab the product into your skin. Lightly tapping. And then, so once I have that on my face and I'm looking and it's all evened out, then I will take whatever's left on my sponge and just bring that down my neck. Just in case it is the slightest bit of a different shade. Now, I do have some pretty bad acne over here. If you guys want me to do a whole video on how I cover my acne, I will definitely do that. I have some pretty bad acne right now, so that would be something I would definitely film. But as of right now, just to cover it because this is for beginners, I'm just taking a little bit extra foundation and blending that in where I have bigger patches of acne. If I have like little small patches that don't need all that extra coverage, then I won't. But like so, I'm just, and I mean, you're always going to see this little bit of extra texture from the raised pimples or acne, but that's normal. So again, blending down my neck. Alright, so now we're going to go in with concealer to conceal any dark circles, any under eye bags. So the concealer that I'm going to be using is the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. Now a good drugstore priced product is the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I would be using this, but I'm like out. Like there's like nothing left. So I can't really use it if there's nothing left. So I'm just going to be applying this under my eyes, and I just take it and swipe it under my eyes. I do down the center of my nose, and that this will highlight, but a little bit on the forehead, on your Cupid's bow, and you can put some on your chin if you would like. You don't have to though. So then I'm going to go in with the rounded side of the sponge and just blend everything in. Like so. Alright. So the powder I'm going in for is the Laura Mercier, I'm just going to tell you why I would blend this out, is the Laura Mercier loose translucent setting powder. I only have high-end loose powders. I have drugstore pressed powders, but I've only found that this loose powder is like the best for keeping creasing away. But a lot of people do like the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and they do have a translucent shade, so you can use that. So I'm going to be doing what is called baking. Now you can either just, for baking, that is when you take it on your damp sponge and you pick up some product on your sponge, or you can use a brush. I prefer to use a sponge, like so, and I just pack this on right under my eyes. Like so, on the bridge of my nose, and then anywhere I have creasing, like here and around my smile lines, I blend that creasing out with the bottom of my sponge and then go back in with my powder to set that. So, now I'm going in to set my smile lines, and I'm sorry I'm looking like behind the camera, just trying to look at myself. And then I just take whatever, just a little bit of product then, and I just kind of lightly just tap this into the rest of my cheeks, on top of my lip, on my chin. Sometimes I bake my chin, sometimes I don't, and do that. Now, a lot of people just take like a fluffy brush, like so, just something small and fluffy, and they just take setting powder and they just, you know, pack it on and call it a day. So while I am setting and baking, I'm going to go in with mascara. Now my favorite mascara for, the upper lash line is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. Now, I personally do not curl my eyelashes, but if you would like to curl your eyelashes, you can. So I just take my mascara and just run it along my lashes. Now, I am not going to be doing lower lash eyeshadow. Like, I'm not going to be smoking out my lower lash or anything, because this is very daytime, and I just personally, if I want like a very, very neutral mascara and eye look, just like eye look in general, I will just do mascara on the top, on the bottom, and eyeshadow on the top only, and on the inner corner. So I'm just going in with my first coat of mascara on my eyelashes. And doing your mascara is pretty self-explanatory. You just pretty much coat your eyelashes. Now my mascara, my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, is getting pretty dried out, so it takes me a little bit longer than if I would have a new one. Alright, so I'm going to take this brush. You can take a smaller brush, and I'm just going to, you can actually see I sweeped away the side, and this like helps with like all creasing. It just leaves your skin looking very smooth. Alright, so I'm just going to sweep this away. And just run the whatever's on the brush down my neck. Alright, so now I'm going to be bronzing up my face, giving it a little bit of warmth. So I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I am using the shade Bronzer. This is what mine looks like. And I am just taking a fluffy brush. Now today I'm not contouring. I am not contouring because that's something that beginners can do, but it's not something that's quite as easy as bronzing. So as you just saw, I'm just kind of running it along my cheekbones. So if you kind of turn, you can see like a slight line here. You want to go right above that and blend it down to about the middle of your face. I'm just taking a Sonia Kashuk fluffy brush. It looks just like this. And then I'm taking this up along the perimeter of my forehead just to give myself a little bit more bronze look. Taking this down and blending it like so. Now I am going to take a little bit and just dust that over my nose. Because when you bronze, you're bronzing all of this. If you don't bronze your nose, it just looks like you have bronzer here and then just like no warmth in the center of your face. So I just bronze like so. And then I do take it a little bit down my neck and along my chin, but not much. Alright, so that is it for bronzer. Now for blush, I take a very similar fluffy brush. I have butterfingers today. So this one is just a little bit shorter in the bristles. So I'm going to be taking a Tarte blush in the shade Monarch. It's just a very pretty peach blush. Peach blushes are what I think are best for everyday looks. If you have a different view, if you think like more of a pinky blush is better, then use a pinky blush. A good drugstore blush is the e.l.f. blushes. This is the one in bright pink, and their blushes are really good. Also, Ulta brand blushes are really, really good, but I'm going to be going in with this one from Tarte today. So I'm just packing a bunch on my brush, tapping off the excess, and then I smile and just put it right here on my cheeks to start, and then I just blend it up into my bronzer. Like so. I'm going to grab a little bit more. And now there's a lot of warmth back in the face. And then I'm going to go over that with my bronzer brush just to blend it out that little bit. And then for highlighter, I have, where are my highlighters? Yeah. I have a highlighting palette. And then I'm going to give you guys a good drugstore highlighter. Which one am I going to give? So, for the drugstore highlighter, actually, I'm just going to use the drugstore highlighter instead. I changed my mind. So these are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powders. I have the shade in Golden Flower Crown, which is a little bit too dark for me, so I use this during the summer months of the year. And then this is the shade Blossom Glow. This shade is beautiful. One of my favorite highlighting powders from the drugstore. It's just very glowy, and I love it. Alright, so I'm going to be taking the Morphe M510 or M510, whatever. It's just this like very fluffy fanny-ish brush. I'm just getting a little bit of product, and then I'm just going to run this, I'll use a different brush for my nose, on the high points of your face, so on your cheekbones, down your nose, your cupid's bow. Some people do their chin, their forehead. I normally don't though. Now, if you want to really, really, really amp up your highlighter, a good way to do that is grabbing any setting spray. I am going to be using the ColourPop All-Star Setting Spray. And then I get some product on my brush, spray it to get it damp, and then I'll show you on this side. This just makes your highlighter pop just a little bit more than it would normally. So you can probably see like a slight shadow here. That's fine. I'm just going to take my powder brush that I went in with earlier just to soften out right here, but it's still very blinding. And then I'm going to take the same smudger brush with that highlighting powder, and I'm going to go very precisely down the very center of my nose and just on the very, very tip of my nose as well. Some people highlight straight down all the way on their nose. I prefer to do just the tip and the very center, and then if you want to be really extra with your highlighter, you can pop that on your inner corner instead, like so. Now I'm going to go in with the second layer of mascara. For this, I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Waterproof Lengthening Volumizing Mascara. This is the best mascara that I have found for my lower lashes. The wand looks like this. Come on. Like so. And I just go and just coat my bottom lashes with it. Now if you want to be like really extra and really coat them, you can. I just like a light coating on my eyes. So, you can just watch as I do this. And now I'm going to take this and just run this over my top lashes a little bit. So I'm going to be taking an eyelash comb that I have that I cannot find. There it is. And I'm just going to be going on my lower lash line and just really combing that out so they are all even. Like so. Yes, like that. So, now for the second to last step of your makeup, you can either go in with a liquid lipstick or a lip balm. I'm going to be going in with a lip balm today. And, well, it's a lip balm, but it's like a tinted lip balm. So for beginners, tinted lip balms I think are the best. I just gotta find the right shade. That's too nude. Oh no. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Stila Color Bomb lipstick. Pretty much this says that it's a lipstick, but it's honestly more of a lip balm because there's not a lot, like a crazy amount of color to it, but there's enough. And I'm also actually going to be lining my lips quick. I'm going to be using the Ulta Automatic Lip Liner in the shade Flesh. This is one of my favorite lip liners, and it's not going up. It's just a really nice nude. And I'm just lining my lip. Making sure that it's even. And if you want to over draw your lips, you can. And then I'm going in with the shade Olivia, which does not, this is what it looks like on the sticker. And this is what it looks like in the tube. And I'm just putting this all over my lips. Now, if you don't like a lip shade this light, you can always, always, always go in with something a little bit darker, which I am going to do, actually. So, this is the shade Misty. Yeah, this is better. Alright guys, so I'm just outside in my hallway now so you guys can see everything. So I did end up putting a different lip shade on. My camera cut off right at the very last few minutes of me filming, so I'm just gonna say my goodbyes now. But as you can see, very like blinding highlight. If you don't want to highlight this bright, you definitely don't have to do one like this. But these are the eyes. And this is the makeup. And as you can see, I barely put any highlighter on my chin, and it's like, wow, in your face. But yeah, so if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope to see you in my next one. And if you do want to see a brow tutorial, just comment down below and like this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.